Ever wonder if you could strike it rich without a dime or a single fancy connection? Buckle up, because I've got a story about a guy I knew, a total slacker who turned a drunken rant into millions. This is the tale of how a basement bar became a legend, and it's proof you don't need a silver spoon to build an empire. Just a little guts and a lot of beer. Meet our hero. Let's call him Jake. Picture a college kid who's allergic to effort. He's the guy who picks the easiest major just to skate by, barely clutching his degree with a GPA that's more hangover than hustle. All he cares about, sitting around, cracking open beers with his buddies. Graduation rolls around, and while everyone else is chasing careers, Jake lands a $10 an hour gig at a music store. Nights? He's parked at his favorite dive bar with his roommate, living the dream, until that dream dies. The bar shuts down, and Jake's world tilts off its axis. One night, Jake and his roommate are sprawled out at home, drowning their sorrows in cheap cans. They're mad, pissed that their spot's gone. It's 3 a.m. They're 3 sheets to the wind, and they spot a "for rent" sign on the bar's old building. In a sloppy, brilliant haze, they grab the phone, dial the landlord, and slur, "Hey, we'll take it. We're reopening this joint." They pass out, forget the whole thing, until 2 days later, the landlord calls back. "Rent's cheap," he says. Real cheap. Why? It's a basement hole in a dead-end part of town, under an abandoned building. But Jake? He's too stubborn, or too hungover to care. So they do it. They scrape together nothing, literally nothing, and reopen the bar as his. No Reno, no big cash drop. They stock it with weird local microbrews they love, stuff no one's heard of, toss some board games on the tables, and snag a $20 panini press from Walmart. Boom, they've got food. It's a bar you enter through a sketchy alley, down creaky stairs, into a basement that smells like grit and possibility. And guess what? The alternative crowd, hipsters, beer nerds, the weird is cool crew, loses their minds over it. This place explodes. Word spreads like wildfire. Local press eats it up, then national outlets jump in. Magazines start calling it one of the best beer bars in the U.S. Jake and his buddy aren't done. They buy the second floor, slap in a classic bar, then grab the third for a swanky cocktail lounge. They open another spot across town. A friend selling his restaurant? They snatch it up. Soon they're running 8 bars and eateries, racking up James Beard Awards, Best Bar Program titles, and a bank account that says millionaires. All from one drunken 3 a.m. call because they were ticked their hangout closed. So can you start a business with no connections, no rich relatives? Damn right you can. Jake didn't have a trust fund or a big shot uncle, just a cheap lease and a wild idea. He didn't know the right people. He knew what he loved. Beer, chill vibes, and bet on it. No network, no wealth, just a gap in the market, a $20 panini press, and the guts to leap. The lesson? You don't need a head start to win big. Find your spark, seize your shot, and hustle like hell. Jake's proof. Sometimes a slacker with a beer can outrun the silver spoon crowd any day. That's the story of the drunken call that built an empire. What's your spark? Maybe it's time to make that call.